joining us there too, but boy, there's a lot of energy and love in the auditorium, so please show up when you can. Now, we are a special spiritual community. We are a community without dogma. We do not tell you what you should believe. We encourage you to come up with a God of your understanding, one that you can use to empower the best of your life. And to make that happen, all you have to do is to leave all your troubles, your would'ves, your could'ves, your should'ves, leave that stuff outside, and for the next 45 minutes or so, open up an avenue of spirit possibilities. And what are spirit possibilities? Well, they're for more love, more joy, more spring flowers, more great weather, more laughter, more dance, more music, more wonderful food, everything in life that makes you feel alive, because that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, you know, as a community, we have lots of stuff going on, so I have a good bit of announcements this morning, so please just settle in and bear with me. The first one is, and this is probably, well, they're all good, but this is really a good one. We have our own lovely Kathy. Stand up, Kathy, please. She's going to do a workshop today at 11th. I didn't tell you to sit down. Keep standing up. I want everyone to see how lovely she is and how healthy she looks. She's been an emergency room nurse for quite some time, and she's clued in on how you can use nutrition to keep healthy. And so if you want to know that, stick around at 11:30, and Kathy will have a workshop for you. You can sit down now, Kathy. It's going to be fun. Be sure to do that. Now, next week, we've got some really amazing musical talent here, Angelina and Armand. If you haven't heard them before, they're funny, they're talented, they have great music. They're going to have a variety show on Saturday here at 6 p.m. They'll do the talk on Sunday morning, and then they'll have a musical workshop at 11:30 here. So all next week, we'll have them here, and it'll be a really wonderful time. So a variety show Saturday night at 6 p.m., Sunday talk, and then 11:30 on Sunday, a workshop. Now, also next week, we're going to have a workshop on how we can become a more welcoming community. And I've got our own lovely Joy Hamp coming up to share that information with us. Come on up, Joy.
Good morning. Is it working? Yeah. Well, for once, I am not up here to talk about numbers. But I will tell you, we're doing really well. Anyway, so what I'm here to talk to you about is this idea of our community asking the question, can we become more welcoming? And I will say set the context for this in that right after we started coming back for the pandemic, Reverend Ken actually said, you know, we have this opportunity. We could change things. And so myself, Terry Hoke, Pat Conover, and Brenda Sensitz got together representing Taking Action for Justice membership and the greeters. How could we become more welcoming? And we looked at a whole bunch of different things, and I won't go through the whole list, but I will tell you one of the things we did is we moved the visitors table away from the front door to where it is now. So when visitors came in, not only was the table more visible, but our greeters could spend some time with them comfortably instead of blocking the front door of people coming in. We also wrote the text for our previous sign, which got knocked down in the last hurricane, but oh well. So this is a rather synchronous situation. I have a dear friend who lives in Connecticut. We met in the early 90s. She's a professional consultant for nonprofits, and she came down to help out a little nonprofit I was part of, made a huge difference, and we have been friends ever since. So she's coming down to visit me, and in the process of planning this, she said, I'm doing this work in my own church. Would you like me to do a workshop for your community? And I said, ooh, that would be wonderful. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity to take what the four of us started and branch it out to the community. And I'm inviting people online too. Please, if you are not able to make it today, but you could make it Saturday, 10 o'clock here at CSL, please come. The idea of having different perspectives and different experiences will only make this better. And if you can't make it, and you have had or witnessed or heard of a particularly welcoming experience or not, please see me after service so at least I could take that information to the workshop. Thank you, and I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Joy. Now, you know, we really do strive to make a difference in the community. That's what we really want to do. And one area that we're moving in because we think we can help, and that is with kids, homeless kids. St. Augustine's attracts a large number of homeless people, and the youth are very vulnerable because they're out on the streets and they think they're much wiser than they actually are, and they need help. There's a group here called Port in the Storm, and they help kids. We are going to start collecting coins, just your extra spare change. We've got a jar there that we'll put up outside that you can just throw your coins in, and we'll collect those and give them over to Port in the Storm. But tell us a little bit more about their mission. We have Joy coming up today, and she's going to share a little bit more about what Port in the Storm does. Come on up, Joy.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Joy Case, the Development Director for Port in the Storm Homeless Youth Center. So we are an emergency shelter for youth experiencing homelessness. We're celebrating our 6th anniversary this year, and I was talking to Marie, and she was saying that you all would like to come out and see the facility and meet some of the leadership team. We have an open house on April 19th. It's located right behind Target, across from the shipyard. So we serve youth 18 to 24, and that might not sound like youth to you, but when you've come up through the foster system or have grown up in an abusive situation or parents who are on drugs, they don't get the same type of life skills and nurturing that you or I might have had, and so that's what we do for them there. And the whole goal is to help them find permanent housing and transition from the streets to stability. So one thing that the coins will be used for is they have a Get Stuff Done club there for those who have a job and are really making strides toward that permanent housing plan. And those coins will be used to purchase gift cards so they can go out and do some fun things and have some rewards for their hard work and their dedication to trying to establish self-sufficiency.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you. And so we'll have the jar outside, and you can start bringing your coins in. Let's see. So we have our chair yoga program going. That's ongoing. That's on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. It's really a lovely program. We also have the Venus Manley Scholarship Program going. If you would like to volunteer for that, please see Pat Conover. And finally, Elaine Malloy is organizing a trip to Costa Rica and Ireland. There's a flyer outside for that. I don't see her here this morning, but I'm sure she'd be happy to answer any questions. Well, those are all my announcements. So to get us started, why don't we get some wonderful music from David? David?
There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Bahalua, angels' wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts they're all the same. Remember when we close our eyes to see that the differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Bahalua, Hashem, or Heaven's Door. It's Mohammed, it's your mind, it's your soul, and it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe, it's one power in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Lovely. And now to get our service going, we've got the wonderful Pat Conover coming up and doing the reading and treatment for us. Come on up, Pat.
Today is the final day for the applications to be sent in by the kids who want a Venus Manley Scholarship. So this week I will be emailing people on the list who have already given me their requests and let you know how we're going to proceed from here on, okay? We have the whole month of April to get it done. Am I on now? Hello. Is that better? Well, I will speak loudly. There we go. Now they got it on. Now they got it on. Okay. Many of us knew Nancy Fagan, Reverend Nancy Fagan. And this is a little book that she wrote a number of years ago. I'll do a reading from that. Ernest Holmes said we should approach the law normally and naturally and with a sense of ease. Consider the law and the spirit as friends. This is the natural unfoldment of reality through us. In Greek mythology, Narcissus fell totally in love with his own image reflected in a pool of water. After wasting away from unsatisfied desire, he was transformed into the flower that bears his name. Unlike Narcissus, our desires can be fulfilled. By being in love with our highest self, the God presence within, our desires assist us in unfolding the petals of our own inner beauty and purpose. In personal growth seminars, mirrors are often used to intensify effectiveness of affirmations. The more I love God in me, the more perfection I see in my world. My world is a true mirror of who I am. And the affirmation, I love God within me naturally and with a sense of ease. I tenderly nurture the unfolding of my own inner beauty to see greater good reflected in my world. Take that message into our hearts. If you like to close your eyes, get comfortable. I know that the power and force of the universe that many call God is within each of us. It goes through us, around us, and everywhere all at once. There it is. I'm so grateful for this knowing. I'm so grateful to have all of you lovely people here today, to hear Reverend Ken's talk. It's a wonderful place to be, and for that I'm very grateful. I know that we each have our unique talents and skills to contribute to the world, led by our inner drive. We are physical manifestations here on earth of the Spirit. And I send this message into the universe by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Pat. That was lovely. David.
We plow the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, but it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. He sends the snow in winter, the warmth to swell the grain, the breezes and the sunshine, and soft, refreshing rain. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all its love. It only is the maker of all things near and far. God paints the wayside flower, it lights the evening star. The winds and waves obey it, by it the birds are fed. Much more to us, his children, it gives our daily bread. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all its love. We thank thee then, O Maker, for all things bright and good, the seed time and the harvest, our life, our health, our food. No gifts have we to offer, for all thy love imparts, but that which thou desirest, our humble, thankful hearts. All good gifts around us are sent from heaven above. So thank the Lord, oh thank the Lord for all its love.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Pat. What a blessing it is to be able to come together with like-minded people and to consciously co-create the best life possible for ourselves, for each other, and for the world. So your being here today is powerful, and it's going to have a huge impact, not for yourself, not only just for yourself, but those around you and for the world. It will expand and go out. So we're doing good and purposeful work here today. Now, my talk title today is Jacob's Ladder. I'm next Saturday night, I'm heading off to Rabbi Fred's house because I'm going to participate in a Seder service there. So I'm excited about that. The Seder service is how they commemorate the fleeing, the Passover, the fleeing of the slaves from Israel. And so I'm really excited about that, and it had me thinking about the stories from the Old Testament and how I really find it interesting that Jewish and Christians share the same sacred text, but often emphasize different parts of it or emphasize different stories, interpret different stories. For Christians, of course, the fall from the Garden of Eden, that's the big one. I mean, that's the whole hook of the whole text. For Jewish people, not so much. They say that humanity has missed the mark many times, and that the Spirit has always been available to them and for them to do better. And so it's a different interpretation. One story that's emphasized in Judaism a good bit is Jacob's ladder in Genesis. Now, the story is that Jacob is fleeing his family. He's alone in the wilderness, and he is exhausted. He lies down. He uses a stone for his pillow. And while sleeping, he has a dream of a ladder reaching from earth to heaven. And our angels are ascending and descending the ladder in his dream. And Spirit says to him, I am with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go. I am with you. I'll watch over you wherever you go. When he wakes up, Jacob says, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. I didn't recognize it. God was here, good was here, but I didn't see it. Spirit is everywhere is present. We used to tell our little kids, there's not a spot where God is not. But often in our confusion and our turmoil, we can't see it. We forget. And we're the ones that have to wake up to it. For Jacob, the dream was a spiritual turning point. He stopped running from his past. He began to move forward with purpose. And the ladder became a symbol of his spiritual growth, of his consciousness and vibration rising up. And a new thought here, we teach that everything begins with an idea, a thought, a moment in mind, and that there's no separation between us and the divine, only degrees of awareness. Joel Goldsmith said, God is the substance of your being and the activity of your consciousness. Spirit is active in your thinking. And whenever you get a new idea that pops in your head, know that is a voice from Spirit encouraging you on to live the best life possible, to be as productive and active as you can be in life. The ladder is the upward movement of our thinking towards the truth, which is always available to us. Jacob thought he was alone. He didn't know that Spirit was with him until he had the dream. And that's how it often works. It doesn't come when things are perfect. He was using a pillow to sleep on, for heaven's sakes. I mean, things weren't all that great. He wasn't at a Holiday Inn. He was out in the wilderness. It doesn't come to us when things are perfect. It comes to us when we're still, when we listen, when we allow the possibility that even in this moment, we are sacred. Even in the worst of times, even in the midst of confusion, we're sacred. And we don't have to allow the turmoil of the world, the confusion, the storms of the world to discourage us. You remember the story of when Christ woke up on the ship in the middle of the storms. The disciples were scared. They were going to lose their lives. They woke him up, and he goes out to the storms, and he says, "Be still." In the middle of the confusion, we can take our power. Rumi said, there's a voice within us that doesn't use words. There's a voice within us that doesn't use words. It uses symbols, it uses signs, it uses feelings. It uses feelings. You get an idea of something you want to pursue. Maybe it's a new hobby. Maybe it's a business adventure. Maybe it's reconnecting with someone. If you will keep it to yourself, you will notice signs and symbols in the universe supporting you, encouraging you. You might be flipping through a magazine at the doctor's office and see an article about it. You might see a course at one of the local colleges for it. And then pay attention to how you feel when you think about it. Are you excited? Are you enthused? That is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. And for heaven's sakes, don't go around telling everyone about it, seeking approval. People who have very little going on in their lives enjoy nothing more than trying to talk other people out of being productive. Your success makes them uncomfortable with their own stagnation, and they won't like it. And if you become successful, they'll drop out of your life. That's an additional benefit you'll have. Yeah. Keep it between you and spirit. Keep it between you and spirit and take the first step. If you're headed in the right direction, it will open up for you. It's like when you go out on the hike in the wilderness. You go out on the hike in the wilderness. The trail may not be apparent to you way up, but you'll see the trail for the next couple of steps. You take those steps. The more you follow the trail, the more it will open up to you. Take the steps right in front of you, and the more you go, the clearer your path will become. Spirit flows through us and with us and for us. Spirit, God, is for you. It is for you. And not all when you get all saintly, not when you get rid of all your bad habits. Right here, right now, God is for you. It is so for you. You are the answer. You were God's answer to every problem, to every challenge you'll ever face. And it has never been disappointed in you, discouraged in you for a moment. It has always been more impressed with your possibilities than it has ever been upset by any of your problems. You have the divine within you, and it is seeking outlet. And what is that outlet? Your best ideas for yourself. That's that outlet. Spirit flows through us. It's not distant. It lives within us. The ladder is the structure of our spiritual ascent. Step by step, we remember who we really are. That's the whole journey of our life, to remember who we are. And each step is a shift in consciousness. It's the movement from fear to faith, from resentment to release, from limitation to possibilities. And each step is a new vibration, a new view of life. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, she said, "You do not have a problem except the one in your own mind, and you put it there. And you're the only one that can take it out. You're the only one that can take it out. Mama can't do it for you. Your teacher, your boss, your partner, you're the one that has to do it yourself." Now, also, realize that not all of those thoughts that come into your consciousness that you didn't necessarily put them in there. Parents, teacher, bosses, politicians, the news media, they feed us a lot of false impressions. But we're the ones responsible for keeping them in our minds. We're the ones responsible for giving them energy. Negative thoughts can come and go if we refuse to dwell on them. And the best way to move them along, think of something positive. Think of something that gets you excited. Think of something that raises your vibration, a better idea, a better concept. What does it say in Scripture? A new heaven and a new earth, a new way of living. Replace the old baggage with something positive. Last week I was just tooling around, and all of a sudden I found myself thinking about a memory from a second grade school teacher. Second grade. Her name was Mrs. Powell. She wore cat-eye glasses. I hope that's a fashion trend that we never see again. And the truth of the matter is, she did not like little kids. She didn't like them. She really didn't. It was like putting an ornery cat around puppies. There was nothing about us that she liked. And I often wondered, well, why did this woman become a teacher? And I was thinking about her experience being in Macon, Georgia in 1960. She didn't really have very many choices. What was she going to do? She might have become a nurse, but that kind of had, little implications. My mama said all they do is, hang around to get paid and give strange men back rubs with alcohol, She might have become secretaries, but at that time, if you watch television, every secretary was being chased around the desk by the boss. So teacher was really probably the only sociably acceptable for an upper middle class woman that she could do. So I had to have some compassion from her and realize it's time for me to let her go. That's been almost 60 years now. It's time to free her and let her move on to other possibilities, whatever they may be, with or without the cat-eye glasses. And that frees me as well. That frees me as well. Because as long as I dwell on past conditions, they pop up in my life. They recreate in my experience to confirm conclusions I have made about how life appears to me. I dwell on a negative second grade school teacher. I will have someone popping up in my life that responds to me like a negative second grade school teacher. And I have one. Yes, she works at the 10 items or less line at the grocery store. And I try to avoid her, but there are times when I get into her line, and when I do, she will critique. She will critique my food selection. She'll say things like, they make this in low fat, don't you? Yeah. Now, if I stay focused on the negative, that's going to zing me. I'm going to take that in. If I keep my mind on the positive, I can breeze through her 10 items or less and be on my way creating more good. And just say, bless her, and go on to my good. Our limitations are created in mind, and so is our liberation. Liberation. That's what the whole Seder service is all about, liberation. They tell you at the end of the service, we're going to keep doing this until every human is free of bondage of every kind. Dr. Holmes, he says, we're all going to get there. We're going to get there to one time where we're all free of every bondage. He said, no, not one of us will be missing. Our choice is, well, when are we going to get there? We're going to get there sooner or later. Now's the time. Now's the time. And each step of that ladder is a choice to think differently, to do differently, to live differently, to see life through the lens of the divine rather than our human fears. And boy, we have a lot of fear going on right now. We're not climbing to get to spirit. We're climbing to remember we've never been separate from it. We've never been separate from it. And the climb begins where we are. Jacob's vision didn't start at a temple. It started in the dirt. It started on a rock in confusion and discomfort. And that's the beauty of it. The path to awakening begins right where we are, right as we are. We don't have to get better in order to do better. Right as we are, Spirit can use us to bring forth miracles and blessings. Last Sunday night at 9:45, I realized I had to make an emergency run to the grocery store. And so I had to get there before it closed up. So I just grabbed the keys, grabbed my wallets, got in the car, headed out. I get to the grocery store. I open the door up. The light comes on. I see myself in the rearview mirror. And I looked, and my hair had looked like I had fixed it, combed it with a weed eater. And I thought, oh, nobody's going to recognize me here. You know, just get the orange juice and get out of there. I got in the store, and I get in front. We normally don't buy orange juice, and so it's not something I buy a lot. So I get in front of the orange juice selection, and I just became overwhelmed by the variety. You know, I was a kid. You went and got orange juice. That was it. Now it's no pulp, some pulp, home style, no acid. And for a moment, I was just hypnotized by all the variety. I could not make a decision. And in my confusion, I heard a voice say, Center for Spiritual Living. Oh my. And I turned around, and it was a young clerk from the store. I didn't recognize him. And he told me he used to come here, and he mentioned it might have been a meeting, but he was kind of vague about it, so I left that to him. And interesting enough, he was telling me that he had actually aged out of foster care. And you know, when kids age out of foster care, there's no more help for them. They're just sent out into the world. And he began to tell me a little bit about his life. And that he was at a crossroads, and things weren't working out for him. And he had made a big mistake that day, and he needed a lot of encouragement. And so there I was with hair that looked like I had licked a wall socket before I went out in public, doing my best to lift him up. And you know what? I think he was grateful. And here's the thing. It made me feel wonderful. I got back in the car, and I didn't care if my hair did look like Dr. Zorba. I knew that Spirit had worked through me, and it made me feel good and worthwhile and needed and necessary. It made my life feel meaningful. And this is what we want to know. We want to know that with all our turmoil, with all our challenges, that it has been purposeful and meaningful, that our time here has been used and needed to lift up, to make the world a better place because we were here. Now, did I solve all his problems? Of course not. I may not have solved any of them. But I gave him 2 or 3 minutes of respite, and that's not to be discounted. More importantly, it reinforced for him the idea of something very powerful, that if he would call out for help, help is available. If he calls out for it. And that could be life-saving for him. That could be. We don't ask any of us to run from life. We invite that we spiritualize our lives, to bring awareness and love and truth into our lives. We don't have to be perfect to make a difference. We just have to show up. Show up and be human. Be human. That's all that's asked of us, to show up and to be who we are. Dr. Holmes says to learn to think is to learn to live. So wherever we are in life, if we're full of energy, or if we're feeling stuck, if we're confident or uncertain, our ladder begins right where we are, right here, right now. So take that step, breathe, be conscious of where you are. And you don't have to leap to the top, just take the next step. Speak truth, think higher, trust that your climb is guided, not by your ego, but by infinite mind. Jacob saw angels going up and coming down, moving in both directions. This is the rhythm of our spiritual lives. We rise sometimes, we need rest sometimes we descend, and then we climb again. And that's the reason community is so important. See, if you're out there on your own in the desert, it's hard to remember that you can rise up and climb again. It's important to have a group of like-minded people who believe better in you than you can believe in yourself, because this ladder never disappears. We're not only climbing this ladder, we are the ladder. We are the bridge between the human and the divine. Our thoughts and actions and consciousness become the pathway through which Spirit expresses as life. We are how God becomes God in the physical plane. And it all begins where we are. Within us is the power, the goodness, and glory of God, ours to manifest one step, one breath, one blessing at a time. And when doubt and fear creeps in, remember what Jacob discovered. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. Surely God, good, is in this place, and I demand to see it. I demand to see it. It is my birthright to see it, because we are never alone. We never were. We can allow our life to be that ladder, to let our hearts rise up, to let our thoughts be a daily declaration of truth, that we are one with God. God is good. We are not wounded. We're not weak. We're not abandoned. We are powerful. We are dynamic. We are how creation comes into being, through our hearts, our souls, and our thoughts. And we are about good work. The glory and goodness and love and compassion of God needs you to channel, to manifest to the physical. You are God becoming God on earth, and don't you let the world talk you out of it. It's the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew you never knew. Have you ever heard the wolf cry through the blue corn moon? Or asked the grinning bobcat why he grinned? You can sing with all the voices of the mountain. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you, and for once, never wonder what they're worth. The rainstorm and the rivers are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends. And we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. How high can the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And you'll never hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon. And whether we are white or copper-skinned, we need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. Need to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Beautiful, David. Thank you, David. So now we come to the time we support our community and we support this wonderful place because we're out in the world doing great and good work. We are sending a beacon of light and love and compassion out to the world. Now you can support us in several ways. You can support us by volunteering for us. You can support us in consciousness by doing prayer work for us, and you can support us in coin. However you choose to support us, if you will take that your intention and place it over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And if the ushers will step forward, and David, I know you got something great for us.
Bows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel that every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at clouds that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow This love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at clouds that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at love from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. I really don't know life at all.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Joy. And thank you. Your support is allowing us to grow, to thrive, to continue to be a beacon of love and hope and compassion, to make a difference in the world. So your support is making a change, and we're grateful for it. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, so I'm going to conclude the service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to take it in, and I'm going to say it in the first person, but take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, well, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power, and that power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. That power called me by name so that I could show up in the physical realm to express myself as Spirit's love and compassion and kindness. So here today in this sacred space filled with all these wonderful, lovely souls, I now choose to see myself as God sees me. Not as weak or wounded, but bold and dynamic, courageous, out in the world and making a difference. I choose to see my life through Spirit's eyes, that I am here to lift up, to inspire, encourage. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to live in health and prosperity and love. I am here to be surrounded by friends who remind me to laugh and play and to enjoy myself. I am here to be awed by the beauty of this world. I'm here to be reminded that love is the most important and powerful emotion in life. It is the purpose and goal of life. So I leave this place not weak, not wounded, not discouraged. I leave here inspired. I leave here encouraged. I know who I am and whose I am. I am a child of the Most High. I am here to make a difference. And there is no power on earth that can hold me back. There is no turmoil or confusion that the light of God cannot burst through like the breaking dawn bursts through the shadows of the night. So I leave this place inspired. I leave this place on purpose. I am on the move. Spirit is calling me forth. A pathway has been cleared before me, and I am not turning back. I am on the move, and I see the goodness and glory of God. I see a new heaven and a new earth, and that is my home, and I will not be denied. This is my truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing. And I release this prayer into the mind of God. Do this good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, dear ones, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life. It's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, this is Reverend Ken wishing you many blessings.